So I just want to kind of do a nighttime video of this truck, just to kind of show how bright these LEDs are, how well this truck is lit up at night. And you know, I almost kind of wish that I had done a stock video of this truck, like before I started putting all these LEDs and stuff in it. Because you can see I've got the LEDs going back here too, except for the license plate lights, which I still haven't done yet. But yeah, it lights up so nice, and I can see everything in this truck when I hit the key fob. And I've got a couple things back here. I haven't put the interior back together yet. And I've got a roll of reflective stuff back there. My spare tire, of course. And then in here, as you can see, yeah, I haven't quite put the trim pieces back on my chair yet. Let me get my flashlight and be able to see a little bit better. Yeah, I still need to put the trim all back on. Yeah, I kind of wish this was like the Sierra and had the light right here on both doors. That'd be kind of cool, I think. But we'll get in here for a minute and I'll show you around a little bit. Put the key in. Yeah, it is 1:35 in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and light this thing up. I've got the LED and the headlight switch. I've got the LEDs in here. All of these are still original. I just did the backlighting. I'm just gonna leave the idiot lights pretty much. Then in here we've got the radio is all done in LED except for the backlight there. I can't really do much about it. We've got the HVAC panel. Unfortunately, one of the bulbs in there has already gone out because apparently super bright LEDs doesn't do very good solder joints on their 74 base bulbs. And then the rear defrost, I've got a red backlight and a blue status indicator, so that's pretty cool. And then my rear wiper switch and hatch release. Funny thing about this hatch release, yeah, it won't actually release. So over here I have all these switches. I've got a hole for one more if I intend to install anything else, and eventually someday that might happen, but for right now I've got 5 switches for various functions. So this one here is going to be for the electric fans. They're all up and good, ready to go. I just haven't gotten this switch hooked up to them yet. And they've got all these status LEDs you can kind of see here. Something I didn't think about when I was putting this all together is how bright these LEDs were going to be. Watch this. That is bright as hell. Look at that. I mean, it is lighting everything up over here. You turn them on all, you turn all of them on. I mean, that is just absolute ridiculous brightness and totally unnecessary. But anyway, that is a 3-position switch. The middle is off. Down is the first speed, and then up is high speed. So I'll get that hooked up someday. I'm not sure when. Okay, and then this first switch here, let me turn the domes off. Okay, you can kind of see out there right now. I've got my park lights on. Let me walk around real quick. That's no big deal. Yeah, this is just the park lights. Now, we will turn the headlights on. Okay, that's just the basic low beams. Halogens, I haven't done anything with them. And then, we'll go with the high beams. Those are LED, and they are very sufficient. And then, if I hold the switch, I can actually have both on at the same time, which is actually pretty cool. Something I wish I could do with that truck. But, turn that off, and hit this first switch over here. This one right here. Factory fog lights, which this truck actually didn't come with. And the reason I have that switch there instead of the factory switch is because I can't use the factory switch. Because the fog lights on these trucks are controlled by the body control module. And I cannot program the body control module on this truck because it is locked to the programming it got from the factory. So I had to run a wire from this switch down to the BCM. Now it just kind of overrides the BCM, so like it's pretty decent. I mean, it's not as good as the regular headlights, and it's certainly not as good as the brights, but not bad at all. Okay, switch number 3, blue LED. That is so, like, okay, this thing has retained accessory power, which means you can have the radio running up to, like, I think it's 20 minutes after the truck is turned off. And that's DX ball music. So yeah, the radio runs and you can still put the windows up and down. That's all you can do without the key on. Something I can't stand about this truck. Okay, most trucks of this era, you could turn the key forward, and after the lock position, you could also turn the key back. This one, you can't. And I think that has something to do with this console shifter, because my mom's 05 Blazer, it's basically identical to this truck, but it's got a column shift. And she's got the back accessory position that this one doesn't have. You can turn the key back in it and it'll turn everything on. Can't do that here. So I pull the key out, I open a door, not thinking about it, my windows are down. Okay, now I have to put the key all the way in, have everything dinging at me all over again. No, I'm gonna hit this little switch right here. It's gonna turn my radio, and I can put my windows up and down. No key. Don't need it. So I can sit here and listen to the radio and put my windows up and down if I want to with no key. Perfect. I just have a bit of a thing against having to put the key in and go all the way back to ignition position just to freaking put my windows up or something. It's stupid. I don't know why they didn't put an accessory position on these trucks. That just blows my mind. Anyway, back to it. Switch number 4. This one actually is not hooked up to anything yet, but once I get it put in back in the back of the truck, it's going to be for whatever amplifier I go ahead and hook up to this thing. Because while this stereo does a really good job, and you can see I've got an input jack here so I can plug my phone or my iPod or whatever into it. It taps into the CD line. It does decent on the bass line. I've got the Sony 6.5s down there, the 4x6s up there, and the 6x9s back there, Pioneer. But it's just not enough bass. Yeah, I've gotten so used to having really good bass. I mean, I've got it in the Sierra, even though that system blew up. So I'm probably going to put a small amplifier and probably my old working 12-inch Type R in like an Amazon box or something. I'm going to put it in the back, and that should be sufficient. I mean, the box in the Sierra right now I had in my 99 Blazer, and it blew the crap out of everything with just 300 watts. So I probably won't need much. But yeah, I'm going to put something in here, and that's what that switch is going to control. Then this one over here. Okay, a little something about these trucks. This one's an automatic, which I've probably mentioned before. I'm not a big fan of automatics anymore. I mean, my 99 was an automatic. It was my first truck. But as soon as I got that 93 up in Fairbanks, the single cab pickup, I have not really enjoyed automatics since then. And like I said, that the 97 Sierra, obviously, that one's a standard. So I got this one. I was like, I really want to swap this thing to a manual transmission. It'd be really cool to put a T56 in here. That'd be great. But obviously I have not done that because it still has a freaking automatic transmission. It's got the 4L60E automatic 4-speed with overdrive. But yeah. So let's say you're going 65 miles an hour down the road. Now you got to go up to a stop sign. You want to coast up to that stop sign, and these trucks have a little feature called Deceleration fuel cutoff. So you let off the gas, and after I think it's about 2 or 3 seconds, the PCM commands very, very little fuel to enter the engine. until a defined cutoff speed, or RPM. I have this one set at 900 RPM to start applying fuel to the engine again, and it'll start cutoff as early as 1100, so yeah. When you hit the brakes on these trucks, it automatically unlocks the torque converter. So let's say you're locked up at 65, you're holding about 2000 RPM. If it wasn't locked up, it'd probably be about 22 to 2300 RPM. You'd have slip between the engine and transmission. Well, with it locked up, you have no slip between the engine and transmission. But when you hit that brake, you start having slip between the engine and transmission again, and your RPM will drop to like 16 to 1500 at 65 mile an hour, and it will have no effect going into deceleration fuel cutoff because there's too much slip. Well, that's where this last switch over here comes in. Okay, there is a wire that goes from the fuse box, I think it's the ABS fuse, goes to the brake switch, and from there goes to the PCM. So when you don't have your foot on the brake, the PCM is seeing power from that fuse. When you hit the brake, it cuts the power, and the PCM sees that there is no connection, and the brake is on. So this switch, down position where it's at right now, the brake pedal is in control of that signal. So on, off, or however you want to look at it. With this switch in the middle position, I know my status LED is not hooked up for that yet, but middle position, the PCM thinks the brake is on right now because there is no connection between the fuse and the PCM. This position, the PCM now thinks I am not touching the brake whether I am or not. So if I want to coast down from 65 to a stoplight or something, a stop sign, then I can hit the brakes all I want, and it'll still stay in deceleration fuel cutoff mode all the way down to my 900 RPM cutoff, where it starts applying fuel to the engine again. So that's that little nifty switch right there, and it's a huge fuel saving difference. Believe it or not, it actually uses more fuel idling than it does coasting to a stop under deceleration events. Now, if it didn't have the deceleration, it would still use quite a bit of fuel coasting to a stop. So that's that switch's function. And as you can see, I have put about a little bit over 3,000 miles on this truck since I tore it down and rebuilt the engine. And I'm going to get some daytime video of this thing where I can show some of what's under the hood right now. Because, yeah, got a couple things in there I need to show. But I think that's pretty much it for the interior. I mean, I still need to, like I said, I need to put it all back together still. I haven't got any panels under here. My dome light's just kind of shining into everything. And there's my key fob module, the receiver. Yep. Got a couple wires running around. Like I said, I had to run some wires from here. The fog lights and the retained accessory power, I tapped those right into where it goes into the BCM, the body control module. So, yeah, I soldered those in place. Kind of ran them up and around, up into here and up into there. And this, the orange wire here, is my amp remote, which, like I said, goes to this switch. So, that's pretty much that. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, my park lights. LED. Yep, back here I've just got tools and chips, and this thing I'm going to cut up, make form-fitting window covers, and yeah. So I've got a fuse over here. I've got HIDs from the 99 Blazer that haven't been used in years. And then this big old wire back here, that's hooked up to the alternator now. And here's the amp remote. And the RCAs are over here somewhere. Yeah, it's not as well lit back here as it is up front, unfortunately. But anyway, I think that's just about it for now. This is going to be a very long video with I have to show tomorrow in the light. So I'm going to shut it down for now. Get that flashing security light. Close the door. Now it stays steady on. If you have the door open and you hit that lock switch, you can have that door open for an additional 30 seconds. But after that, you better close the door or the alarm's going to go off. But I'm not going to set that off out here. Not at this time of night. Yeah, you can see the humidity has been pretty bad today. Yeah, 76 out there right now, and the humidity is insane. 88, but it feels like about 188. So, yeah, temperature all throughout today has been up in the 90s. It only just went down. And then, like down here, the outdoor humidity, today's high 99, today's low 42. Well, that's not too bad. Let's see, temperature. Today's high of 100, low of 72. Yeah, just shoot me. So that's the update on the Blazer for now. I hope you liked it. I hope you like this big old pile of boxes in my freaking dining room right now that I need to go ahead and put up in the attic. Because, well, a lot of these boxes, yeah, a lot of these boxes actually came from stuff I bought for the Blazer from Amazon. I mean, the box they had this hose in was just ridiculous. Okay, let me see if I can find it again. I think it was this one right here. Just a big freaking box for just a hose. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, so, yeah, all these need to go up in my attic. And then there's more back here. And they're all empty. So that's the fun part. Like, I'm slowly getting this place cleaned up, guys. I'm not just neglecting the freaking house. Too much. Yeah, that trash needs to go out. I just started putting more crap in it today, and I just haven't gone out with it yet. There's nothing organic in it, so whatever. And you might have noticed my voice is a little screwed up. Yeah, the beginning of this month I had strep, and that really freaking sucked, and my throat hasn't quite recovered properly from that yet, and I'm starting to wonder if it ever will. It's just getting old. I want to be able to freaking talk properly again. But yeah, I'm not even going to show you the living room because it still is a disaster zone. I'll come back to that on another date. Probably like 6 weekends from now. Be my luck, I won't work on it. I'll be like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to play on the computer all weekend. I don't care, whatever. Anyway, that'll be the end of all of it. This video's too long now, so I'm going to shut up. And I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the new video. Oh, what? Did you think I forgot about you? What are you doing? You silly girl. You're just getting stuck on me. I need to clip your claws again. Hey, that's a pretty good lead into a new video.